Yeah, it'd be great to revisit that universe, but I don't know how that would happen exactly. Of course, I'm open to it.
What's up, guys? Today we're talking about The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. This is one of my most anticipated movies coming out. It's coming out in 2027, directed by Andy Serkis, Gollum Smeagol himself. He worked on the Hobbit movies with Peter Jackson. That's not saying a lot. And he also directed one of the Venom movies, and those movies are all garbage, okay? But I'm still excited because I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan. I hope this movie's going to be good. We'll wait and see. With all of these remakes and reboots and remasters and whatevers that have been coming out that Hollywood has been doing because they have no creative spark anymore. They're just taking a franchise that was successful in the past and not rebranding it, but rebooting it, because they have an inbuilt fan base already, so there's not much risk going in. They haven't been that great. I mean, look at Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars is the prime example, and it seems like that might be happening to Middle Earth, to Lord of the Rings. But we'll have to wait and see, because we did wait and see. You guys saw, what's that animated movie, the War for the Rohirrim? It wasn't that great. And we had Philippa Boyens on board with that one. She didn't write it though, okay? She didn't write it, but she was there. She wrote the story. She didn't write the screenplay, I believe. So we'll have to wait and see. But let's talk about this. We've got CinemaCon going on, so we have the casting news. The casting news just came out. But before we dive into that, let's just look at this here real quick. Director, Andy Serkis. Writers, Philippa Boyens, Phoebe Gittins, Artie Papagiorgio. Let me pull this up here real quick. Okay, so Philippa Boyens is writing the screenplay for this. I believe The War for the Rohirrim, she only wrote the story. Okay? See, the reason why Philippa Boyens is the key here, and Fran Walsh, is because they worked hand in hand with Peter Jackson to write the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So those are our keys here, because as much as I love Andy Serkis, I liked Mowgli. I more than liked Mowgli. Mowgli was really good. He directed that one, but he also directed Venom. Come on now. Those movies were horrible, okay? Those movies were a joke. So we're really leaning in on Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh. Also, Peter Jackson has been involved, but not really in a creative sense, more of like a producer sense. I'm pretty sure he'll be on here. Yeah, Peter Jackson. It's produced by Peter Jackson. So we're really leaning on Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh. I keep saying that but those are our hardcore key links to the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. So if we have any hope of this movie being good, our pillars are Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh.
I know that this was something that was super important to Andy, and I'm sure he'll talk about it, but like the why of it. And I think they got excited at the notion of a nugget of a story, and then they wrote it and realized that they had found the why. Like, why are we doing this? Right. Well, this is why we're doing it. So it's filled with integrity, and it's also filled with, the crew is largely the same. Certainly the larger creative team is essentially the same creative brain trust as the original film. So it's same production designers. Yep. It is the same makeup and hair team. Obviously, Weta Effects are doing all of the physical effects. So it really is like a coming together of the original team. And then at Fran, Phil, Peter, they're all involved in the writing and producing.
But now, let's jump into the casting, because this is where things get really interesting, and people are going to have a bunch of differing opinions. Warner Brothers said, "We've been waiting for you, precious. The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, only in theaters December 17th, 2027. And they have this like moving poster, which is pretty much like a sequence from The Fellowship of the Ring. Why is that important? Because The Hunt for Gollum takes place within Fellowship of the Ring. There was a whole fan film that came out that some fans made. They put it on YouTube years ago. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's pretty cool. But essentially, the story takes place when Gandalf sends Strider, Aragorn, to hunt for Gollum, while the enemy is hunting for Gollum, because Gollum is the only one. Smeagol is the only one that knows about Bilbo and the ring, where it is, and all of that. So it's like a race, and we know who wins. If you guys have watched Fellowship of the Ring, or if you guys have read the books, you know the story. So Andy Serkis obviously is reprising his role as Gollum and Smeagol. He's my favorite character in Lord of the Rings, so this is like my main draw here to see him perform again is going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome. I'm definitely excited for that. Now, if it wasn't evident before, this is taking place within Peter Jackson's universe, Peter Jackson's Middle-earth. So we have Andy Serkis back. You look at the font. I mean, clearly this is from Fellowship of the Ring, right? So we're bringing back Ian McKellen as Gandalf. We're bringing back Lee Pace as Thranduil. We're bringing back Elijah Wood as Frodo Baggins. I saw Elijah Wood at MegaCon. I gotta do the video. I gotta post my video about it. It was really cool, man. It was really cool. But now you're seeing some new names. Some new. Kate Winslet is Marigold. Who's that? Who is that? Halvard Lee Woodall is Halvard. Who are these people? You know, and you see, I'm purposely skipping Strider and Jamie Dornan. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. But see, we've got Gandalf, we've got Frodo, we've got Thranduil. We've got Andy Serkis, obviously. But who is Marigold? Okay, so the speculation is that she's going to be Smeagol's grandmother. You're telling a story. You're telling him. The movie's called The Hunt for Gollum. All right, this is the perfect opportunity to get in some Gollum, some Smeagol backstory, right? So what people are thinking is that Marigold is going to be Smeagol's grandmother, right? You're seeing Deagol, Smeagol, Marigold, right? Maybe you're from the same family, you know? That would be cool. We got a little Stuart Hobbit, Kate Winslet. The reason this excites me is because we're going to be getting more of Smeagol's backstory. And I mean, if you guys have seen Return of the King, the opening sequence of that movie is one of my favorite sequences in all of Lord of the Rings. It's so freaking cool. Seeing how Smeagol got the ring, how he turned into Gollum, how it corrupted him and all of that stuff. So getting more of his character fleshed out would be awesome. And then you're gonna see Andy Serkis play Smeagol as Smeagol and not necessarily Gollum and all of the CG. That's cool. Just seeing more of that again, because I mean, obviously everybody here, I'm imagining, wanted more of that because that was super cool in Return of the King. So if we get more of that, that would be awesome. Seeing him living his daily life, seeing him being shunned by his family and his fellow Stuart Hobbits, whatever, you know. That would be really cool. Seeing him, because we only got a little bit of that. Seeing him being driven out. Maybe seeing a little bit of him before the sequence that we saw in Return of the King, him living life, and then they go fishing. Hey, if they bring back the actor for Deagol and you get to see that sequence again, I mean, they could just pretty much reuse that sequence a little bit in there. That could be cool.
I think it'll provide a lot of context for Gollum and an understanding of that character that we only got a bit of in the prologue. In 2, was it? I think in Two Towers, I think we get where we see his transformation.
Yes.
I mean, come on. A little bit of fan service is not a bad thing. I like it, all right? I know people talk about member berries and they're so bad. Look, they're just bringing back stuff from the past, and it's Hollywood has no creativity anymore. But, I mean, we as fans like some of that, all right? You can't deny some fan service here and there. So, now, who's this Halvard guy? We don't know, but the speculation is that he's going to be from the Dunedain, which means he'll be mingling with Strider, Aragorn, a.k.a. this new guy, Jamie Dornan. We didn't get to see much of that in the movies. I don't remember seeing the Dunedain in the movies at all. You know, Strider riding with the Dunedain. I don't think we saw that from what I remember. So getting to see that now would be cool. That would be really cool. Seeing Aragorn, seeing Strider before... You know, because it's taking place during the Fellowship of the Ring, before the formation of the Fellowship. So you're seeing him, you're going to get more insight into these characters before the adventure really starts, which would be really cool. Now, here's where things go crazy. This is our spoiler alert. All right, this is our new Aragorn, our new Strider. Hey, that's pretty good. If you ask me. I mean, if you're not going to get Viggo Mortensen, that's pretty good. I don't know how this guy acts. I've never seen him in anything. But just looks wise, hey, that's pretty solid right there. But yeah, I mean, there's no replacing Viggo Mortensen, and it's sad Viggo Mortensen is not reprising his role, but it kind of makes sense because again, this is taking place during Fellowship of the Ring, and he is much older. Ian McKellen as Gandalf can hide behind the white hair. He's already supposed to look old. So that's fine. Elijah Wood, he's been carrying the ring this whole time. The dude doesn't age. He looks young, you know. Andy Serkis, again, hiding behind the makeup, the CG, not really makeup, the CG, you know. So he's fine. But Aragorn, Strider, Viggo Mortensen, it's tough. He's gonna have to been de-aged throughout the entire movie, and you know, you might get some uncanny valley stuff throughout the movie. It might break immersion. So maybe it might be better to recast the role. It's a tough call. It is a tough call, and I don't blame Andy Serkis. I don't blame Viggo Mortensen at all, because clearly they would have wanted Viggo Mortensen back if he could come back. Viggo Mortensen himself said he'd want to come back and play Aragorn, you know? So if it could have worked, they would have made it work. They brought back Elijah Wood again. They brought back Lee Pace. They brought back Ian McKellen. Why wouldn't they bring back Viggo Mortensen if they could, you know? So they definitely tried. I imagine they definitely tried. But it didn't work out. So they got Jamie Dornan. And look at this, dude. I mean, yeah, some editing going on here, but just to get it you can kind of see it, you know? You can kind of see it. You know, I mean, you can kind of see it here. All right, I see the vision. Here. So I'm not entirely mad at this recasting. Again, I don't know how this guy acts. We'll have to wait and see how he performs. But I am still excited about this movie, guys. What do you guys think? The Hunt for Gollum, directed by none other than Andy Serkis, the man who directed, where is it? Open up, man. The man who, dude, Planet of the Apes. That performance, man, so good, super, super good. But listen, see, he directed Venom, Let There Be Carnage. That's like, what is that, dude? Those movies are garbage. I got a 5.9. Wow, I'm impressed. Because a lot of people like those movies. I'm surprised it has a score that low. I would put it probably even lower than that. I fell asleep. That movie was worse than the first one. But see, Mowgli 6.5, that should be higher. That movie was good. I like that, you know? And he was pushing motion capture to the forefront there. I mean, Andy Serkis is probably one of the most underrated figures in all of Hollywood. I mean, I didn't like Venom, Let There Be Carnage, but the dude is fantastic. He's really, really good. We'll have to wait and see if his directing chops are up there. You know, Peter Jackson thought he was good enough to throw him on The Hobbit. Again, I don't blame Andy Serkis and Peter Jackson for The Hobbit. I blame WB for that, but that's a whole other rant. Anyways, I'm excited for The Hunt for Gollum. My favorite character in all of Lord of the Rings. I'm a big Andy Serkis fan. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so obviously I'm going to be excited. Will this movie be good? We'll have to wait and see. But we have Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh involved, so it might be good, man. It might be good. Oh, frick! Is Howard Shore back? That's the most important thing. Howard Shore. I honestly like the music in Lord of the Rings more than the movies. It's not on here. It's not on IMDb. Dang it. We don't know yet. If Howard Shore is back, that would be fantastic. They used the Howard Shore music in this, though. If you play this, I'm not playing it because it has I'm going to get a copyright strike, but they have Howard Shore music in here. So they got to bring Howard Shore back. If they don't bring Howard Shore back, it's not Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this movie. What do you guys think about The Hunt for Gollum? What do you guys think about the recasting? What do you guys think about Marigold, Kate Winslet probably being a relative, a grandmother of Smeagol? What do you guys think about Halvard being the Dunedain, which means we're going to be seeing Strider in the Dunedain. What do you guys think about Elijah Wood coming back as Frodo Baggins? Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys think about this movie? Are you guys going to see it? I'm definitely going to see it, but let me know your thoughts down below. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.